Okay, everyone, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah. How you doing, bro?
Good, thank you. How are you, mate?
I'm good, man. I'm enjoying this mango.
Yeah, thanks for that, by the way.
Have you had mango juice before like this?
I don't think so.
What's your first initial take?
My first initial take is that it's not as sweet as other juices.
No sugar at all.
Did you request that?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
But it's still quite sweet, isn't it?
Well, that's interesting because
it's a very healthy juice, but it's still got that little fruity sweetness to it, which you would expect to be fair from a fruit juice. But
yeah, I think now that you mentioned that it's got no sugar, it means that probably all the juices I get, they automatically put sugar in it.
They do. Now that you say to them.
But you don't know that, do you? Or you know it?
No, with Ijaza, for example,
you know
the sugar is like standard. You got a request without sugar.
Do you know what, bro? It does taste fresher, I guess, now that you mentioned that.
It really is, man.
Yeah, but for sure, it's like not as sweet as normal juices.
No, but I prefer it, man. It takes I don't think, unless you put in a lot of sugar in there, the taste ain't gonna be that much different with a little bit of sugar, and the calories is a big difference. So
I find that when you like reduce your sugar intake, a little bit of sugar does make a difference. So, I like years ago stopped taking sugar in my coffee, and then when we were at some point in the old office in London, I started like putting like really small amounts of sugar in my coffee every now and again.
Yeah, that's true.
Not often, very like rarely when, you know, like for example, after food you fancy something sweet, so I'd have a coffee and put like half a teaspoon of sugar. And bro, back in the day when I was like, I don't know, in my teens, if I was like gonna have some tea or something, I'd put like 2 teaspoons of sugar in it.
Yeah.
And then half a teaspoon of sugar in the coffee would make the world, like it would taste like so sweet now.
That's true, actually. It's a good point. Probably one of the best things I ever did, health-wise, was to stop putting sugar in my tea. I was never a huge Coke, like fizzy drink guy, to be honest. So that was easy to just like leave. I didn't really leave it. I just like wasn't ever really attracted to it. But I used to have 1 sugar in my tea. Yeah, growing up, we'd have teas like at least 3 times a day, like throughout the day. That's a lot of sugar, man. And
yeah.
3 spoons of sugar a day is a lot. And then I just went to like half and then I just left it. And now, alhamdulillah, if you put sugar in my tea, I probably wouldn't drink it, I don't think.
Well, what's interesting is how advanced the brain is, because one memory I have is when, again, I was younger, someone offered me, some auntie or something, I don't remember who it was, but like offered me tea. We were at someone's house. I was like, yeah, I love tea. And they were like, how much sugar do you have? I was like, 2 sugars, please. She's like, 2 sugars? And then anyway, she made me tea. And then I was like, oh, she was like, how's the tea? I was like, yeah, it's nice. And she was like, well, I actually only put 1 sugar in.
Yeah.
And I was like, no way. Like, it's just the brain, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm gonna now have 1 sugar. So then because of that, I started having 1 sugar. I was like, I know I can handle it and I don't mind it. So a lot of it's like how you train your mind. I don't know if you recently saw, but there was this tweet that Sean from MFM reposted about pain, and so this guy won a tweet competition, and the prize was that Sean will retweet your tweet.
Okay.
And it was really funny when you smile is that basically then Sean forgot to retweet it.
What a horrible prize, by the way. Enter this competition and I would retweet you.
No, I think there was like other.
I'm hoping there was another
I think there was other prizes.
Yeah, I hope so.
But what was funny, bro? Yeah, is
what does second place get, man? Like a DM.
What was really funny is that Sean retweeted it. Yeah. So this guy entered he was part of like some writing course that Sean did, right?
Oh yeah.
Did you know that he does writing courses?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. And he won. And one of the things is that he'd retweet a tweet, right? And Sean forgot to retweet it. And what's really funny is that the guy then wrote Sean like a cold email, and the subject email was Sean, do I look like a B word?
Yeah.
Did you see that?
I haven't seen this, no.
But it's so funny because that was the subject line, and that caught Sean's attention.
Yeah.
And then he ended up reposting it. Not that I'm like condoning swearing at all.
No. But the importance of a good subject line is up there, isn't it? And you helped me with our cold email subject lines. And since then, it's been like a marked improvement on that.
Subject lines are like so important, man.
Yeah. Gone. I had something to say, but gone.
No, go on.
Oh, I've forgotten it. Now I've said that.
Sorry. Yeah, now the pressure's on.
Yeah, I'll come back to me because I'll let me think about what I was going to say.
Fine. So one thing that's probably worth noting is that
I remembered it.
Do you remember it? No, go say it.
It was not about business though, because you mentioned the brain and the power of the brain, right?
Sorry. I was meant to explain why I mentioned that tweet thing because it was about the brain.
Okay,
you go first.
Fine. So I was researching last night about fevers. Yeah, when you get a fever at high temperature, why does the body start shaking when you're at high temperature, right? and you think you're cold. You know, you've had a fever before. Right? You think you're freezing, but in actuality, your body temperature is really high, like dangerously high, maybe. So I was thinking, like, what's happening there? I researched it, and apparently, Allah knows best, your brain is trying to generate more heat by making you shake. Yeah. So your brain is telling you, even though you are dangerously hot, almost, or reaching those levels, it's telling you you're freezing and you need to shake to get warm, and you feel freezing. And if you could put your mind back to when we were in that situation with a fever, you feel freezing, even if you're wrapped up.
But why?
It wants to kill the virus or bacteria in you, so your brain. So it wants to put your temperature higher, and to do that, it makes your body shake to generate heat. So even though you feel freezing, you're actually hot. Yeah. But it just reminded me of that the power of the brain. The brain is telling you that, and that's all you can think about. Like, you're just freezing, you're wrapping yourself up. But in reality, you're hot.
Yeah, when we were younger, my brother got really unwell, and then we ended up calling the ambulance because he was like uncontrollable when he was young, and they said they came in and he was like wrapped up in blankets, and they were like, right, we're taking all these blankets off. They were like, "You're not being blankets." And he was like, I'm freezing, I'm shaking, like what, like I can't handle, I need to be warm. And they're like, no, that's you're actually not. Like you need to cool down.
Exactly, it's mad.
I was like, bro, how does that work?
Yeah.
So this tweet then, it was about the brain thing as well, is like that guy basically who Shah retweeted, he was saying that he's been dealing with chronic back pain. And I'm not going to tell you the whole tweet because I can't even remember all of it. It was like really long. It was a massive tweet thread. But the end result was that he was saying that it kind of came to a head when his wife wanted to start a family, and he's thinking about how am I going to like pick up kids, all this kind of stuff. I've always had these back problems.
Right.
Which is probably weird that that's the first thing that you think of when your wife's like one of kids. But anyway, he basically, the point of the tweet was him saying that a lot of it was to do with his brain, because he like had convinced himself he's got chronic back pain. When your brain thinks you're in pain, it will send out pain. No, sorry, when your brain thinks that you have an issue, it will send out pain signals, and the pain signals are there to protect you from like doing like worse things. That's one of the benefits of a pain signal, apparently, right? Like today, for example, you can see I've got a scratch on my nose.
I did, yeah.
And I've got, so I suppose like one of the things is, okay, that scratch is causing me pain, so I'm going to know now not to like overly touch my nose because that's like protecting me, I guess, right? Yeah. Complete bro science. Like,
don't smell things too much today. Give it a rest, mate.
We're going super bro science on this episode. So he said when he basically managed to convince his brain that he wasn't having chronic back pain, a lot of the issues are fixed. It's not to say, obviously, that that's going to fix all issues, but it's to say, I suppose, that the brain has a part to play.
Yeah, I'd hope so.
And if you want to know why I got the scratch on my nose,
I was going to ask,
it was Khalil. Bro, he scratched my nose. He was like playing my face. And when he scratched my nose, and it was so short, I said, right, we're cutting your nails. And I went and I got the nail cut and cut all of his nails. I was like, bruv, that hurt.
Does he let you cut his nails? Like, he's happy with that, yeah?
Yeah, now my kids are okay with it. They were really difficult with it before.
Yeah.
Now they're right with it, alhamdulillah.
Sometimes, like, if you're changing a nappy or something, you can get like a nasty kick in it. You ever got one of those nasty kicks? Mm-hmm. Yeah,
But I get that on a regular, bruv.
Yeah. It's not nice.
Yeah, it's very annoying.
It's not nice.
Okay, so in this episode, I want to touch on some of the things that we wrote in our notes. So, I wanted to start actually by giving you a bit of an update on the episode, which we haven't spoken about. So,
go on then.
Do you remember maybe like a month or two ago now, but like 4, 5, 6 weeks ago, we had a conversation on the podcast, and we were talking about Alex Hormozy and a few other people, and we were talking about essentially living below your means.
Yes.
So I ended up seeing this quote, and I tweeted it the other day. I'm sure you saw it because you must have seen my Twitter, because let's be honest.
Yeah.
You follow me? Do you follow me?
Notifications turned on. No, I do not.
Do you follow me?
I do follow you on my...
Do I follow you on
my business?
That's right.
Just strictly business, mate. Strictly business.
Bro, I don't even know if I follow you. No, you do follow me in your personal one. And it says follow back. Should I follow you back?
Go on then.
Go on. All right, so you've got more followers than me on Twitter.
Do I?
Yeah, my following is really bad on Twitter.
Only just though.
Bro, my following is really bad on Twitter. Like, I'll have tweets go viral, but people still won't follow me. It's like, okay, we like the tweet, but no chance.
I'll retweet it there, don't worry. I'll give you a retweet.
So I tweeted the following. I said, I read, redefine living below your means as a sign of wealth and not poverty. I actually read that from, I think it was from Alex Hormozy actually still. And then I said, as I continue to study personal finance so I can give the best teachings to my children, I think that's the most powerful line I've read so far. So essentially, we as a society probably see someone who drives a rubbish car that functions perfectly well as he's clearly not got loads of wealth. But we'll see, and I suppose what that quote is saying is that let's redefine that and say, but that guy could be a millionaire, but he's just living below his means, which is actually really like something to look up to. So, a few weeks ago, we spoke on the podcast, and I said that I was going to trial something just as an experiment. And that was to use bars of soap instead of shower gel. Remember?
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
So we did the maths of it, and it turned out that I think you could. First of all, the effectiveness of a bar of soap alongside the amount of time, the amount of showers you'll get out of it alongside the price means that for the same price as 2 bottles of, well, this isn't the math because I can't remember what we said, but something along the lines of for every 1 bottle of shower gel you use, you can or however many showers you can get out of that, you can get 25 bottles worth of showers or whatever, right? The math is completely when you look at the math, it's absurd. Yeah. You're saving
in favor of the bar of soap.
In favor of the bar of soap, right? And the effectiveness of your hygiene isn't affected. If anything, it could be boosted, right? Depending on the bar of soap you use. So I tried it, didn't I?
Okay.
And the update is I'm still using bar of soap to this day.
Wow.
Yeah, I think I'm convinced. I think I'm converted. And the reason I would have stopped using it the minute I felt like it was less efficient for me than using a shower gel.
Yeah.
But I just haven't come across it. I have my personal bar of soap that stays in my personal bar of soap area.
Okay. That's fair enough. Do you not feel though, I like bars of soap when they're new.
Yeah.
After about 2-3 weeks, I'm like, that doesn't even look clean. Do you know what I mean? It's
it's soap, isn't it?
I know. But it's it looks like this little sliver of what used to be a bar of soap, and now it's a bit beaten up and squidgy, and it's But maybe I'm using it. Maybe at that point it's time to throw it away. Maybe.
Yeah. So I did invest in good bar of soap.
Fine. I didn't think any less of you, to be honest. I thought you've gone and got yourself a gourmet.
It wasn't gourmet. I think it was imperial leather or something.
Camel milk. Olive
oil.
It
was it just wasn't because you can get bars of soap in Lulu's and Carrefour for Bro,
pennies,
they're you don't even know the brand. Yeah, this is I think imperial leather, but it still worked out to something 17 pence per bar of soap or something, or even less. It was peanuts, bro.
People were watching it go. Inflation's going nuts. It used to be 7 cents.
Yeah,
7 pence.
Bro, but yeah. So I'm sticking to that. That's the update.
Fair enough. I can't lie. I guess
that's disgusting.
It's filthy. You should be ashamed of yourself, Faisal. I would do it, but I wouldn't get the 17 pence ones. If I'm going to do that, that's the kind of thing where I would get a nice bar.
5p.
No. I wouldn't get a nice bar of soap.
But I got a good one.
But 17p.
It was expensive.
What kind of soap
on the
is
side?
It? But it's a Lulu. I'm thinking going to get what I was just taking a mick out of, which is a olive oil, camel milk. No, it was
imperial leather. You know the brand imperial leather?
Yeah, it's all right. I still think that's mid-range, man. I'm talking about I might go and spend £2 on a bar of soap.
No. Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
But bro, you can get a shower gel for £2. The point of it is shower gel is more.
Yeah, I guess. I guess in my brain, I know imperial leather.
15 dirhams for
6.
For how many? 4 ivory bars. How much that work out as?
Ooh,
I don't know if that's the one I bought. That's £3.50. So that actually works out to about 70p. Maybe that's how much I spent.
Fine. And if
don't knock it.
if it's an imperial level one, that's probably fair. But I feel like if I'm going to make that switch, because I like good smelling shower gels, that kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? It gives you a nice rejuvenated feel sometimes.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's hard to get from a bar of soap unless you go high end.
Yeah, that one of the advantages of shower gel is that it's mixed with a lot of perfume and chemicals that can completely destroy your skin.
Love it.
Yeah.
I want more of that.
Acne. Yeah. Great, right. Yeah.
What I like to see when I look at shower gel, one of the things I look at is how many chemicals are they packed into this.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I like showers. One of the reasons I like showers is the aromatherapy type thing, where it's you come out smelling whatever, a nice aftershave or lemons or whatever.
Yeah.
And you feel fresher when you smell better. With a bar of soap, I just feel it's more like utilitarian type stuff. Like, I just use the scrub you and like.
You're right.
Yeah, that's where So if I was gonna make the switch, I probably wouldn't do it to save money because I probably end up spending the same amount of money.
Okay, so I'll tell you. I'll give you a confession.
Okay.
I have this Amouage shower gel, and
Wow.
I use that if my goal is like, let's say for example, I'm going somewhere where I want to make sure that I, smell like good.
Amouage.
Yeah, so like I have used it like before the Jumu'ah prayer, like when I shower. So I'll still use just bar soap now, but then I'll put like the Amouage shower gel in my armpits and stuff as well.
What about your hair and shampoo stuff? So you still use shampoo?
Do you know what? With shampoo and stuff, I've always ever just used whatever my wife has bought.
Same.
So I right now I think it's Tresemme. Like there was a period of my life where I was buying the German caffeine shampoo that's good for like receding hair. Which by the way, it priced so expensive.
Yeah, it's mad.
I used that for a while, like a couple of months. Like I would buy that every time, and then it wasn't that I didn't enjoy it. It wasn't that it wasn't effective, which I don't know if it was or not. It was actually just the inconvenience of like having my specific my shampoo when I don't really care.
Yeah.
So I just my wife's got this massive Tresemme bottle. I'm just.
That's what I do as well. I don't really choose.
Every now and then I'll condition it. I don't know what the method is meant to be. How often you mix shampoo? How often you condition?
I used to think.
I'm a man.
Yeah. I used to think. Yeah. Maybe I still do. I don't even know. Do you condition first then shampoo, or do you shampoo then condition? I genuinely don't know.
No idea.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Yeah, that's bad. Isn't it? We probably should know that.
Hey,
that.
Who cares?
Yeah, I don't.
Exactly.
Do you?
Literally, I couldn't care less.
Yeah. What was I gonna say?
Every now and again, I'm just like, because all I know is that you're not meant to shampoo your hair every day. So then now what I do, I base it on this. I'm like, did I sweat a good amount today? Yeah, my hair probably smells.
Yeah.
So I do shampoo more of that in the UAE now.
I would like to start a soap brand. But not shower gel soap, as in like actual soap bars. I would like to start that brand because I feel like there's a lot of creativity that hasn't been unlocked there.
No, there has.
Has there?
Yeah, I'm going to show you a video of it.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's sick.
Is
the
it?
sickest soap advert I've ever seen.
Oh, really?
It's so bro.
But what's in this? What's in the soap? What I'm saying is like ingredients in the soap. Like
all of that.
You can go. The best ones I've seen are like in the malls and stuff. You see like it's like virgin olive oil mixed with camel milk and this and that lard, and it's like a beautiful like thing. It's kind of been done, but I feel like there's a lot more that can be done. Where it's just like,
bro, this is so. Right, I'm gonna show you. So this is where I got the inspiration for one of the adverts that I shot for like the game or something, right?
Okay.
I watched it just before then.
And also, while you're looking for that, I just like the idea of like easy home businesses. So it's like, I could do that at home. You can make soap at home. You know that it's very easy.
This is handmade as well.
Yeah, so I would like to.
Bro, this is so like what?
You found this soap advert way too quick for my liking, to be honest.
Okay, just save something for me. But it's so me as well. I love it.
You're not a dish. You're a man. Most name brand bars and body washes you rub on your skin are classified by the FDA as synthetic detergent. It's not even real soap. Start treating your body to the natural, nourishing, lathery goodness of Dr. Squatch soap. Get ready to step out of the shower feeling alive.
That's basically, what was it called? Dollar Shave Club. Same model. That's how they got big. They got big from one advert. Type in Dollar Shave Club advert. That's how they got big.
No way.
They made one advert like that. It was funny and like catchy. They put some ad spend on Facebook. They went viral on that.
This one.
Hi, I'm Mike, founder of DollarShaveClub.com.
How many views this got?
What is DollarShaveClub.com?
Must be.
Well, for $1 a month, we send high-quality razors right to your door. Yeah, $1. Are the blades any good? No.
Oh, I've seen this sick advert.
Our blades are
Yeah, I've seen this.
Each razor has stainless steel blades, an aloe vera lubricating strip, and a pivot head. It's so gentle a toddler could use it. And do you like spending $20 a month on brand name razors? 19 go to Roger Federer. I'm good at tennis. And do you think your razor needs a vibrating handle, a flashlight, a back scratcher, and 10 blades? Your handsome-ass grandfather had 1 blade and polio. Looking good, pop-up! Stop paying for shave tech you don't need. And stop forgetting to buy your blades every month. Alejandro and I are going to ship them right to you.
Yeah, I've seen this advert. It's very
It's
good.
very
I
good.
love adverts like
Yeah,
this.
they smashed. That's how they got big. They were like literally start up like with nothing. They made this advert, which is like low budget, and it smashed it on Facebook. There's whole case studies written about it and stuff. And yeah, a lot of brands try to
Now
replicate
I want
that.
to do an advert like that for
Yeah, I'd like to.
our email newsletter now.
Ooh.
I was just gonna do something normal, but you could so do something like that. For
Should we talk
email
about newsletter?
Yeah, so that's a good idea.
So one issue I may have had, yeah, the whole meme section of it. Firstly, I don't think it's any good place to get quote unquote Islamic memes, and I think for a good
Memes
reason.
are just halal.
Yeah, for a good reason. And what I mean by for a good reason is like most of these pages where it's like, oh, halal memes, most of the stuff they're doing is very problematic.
Oh, yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
definitely.
So I wouldn't want to say, oh, let's just grab something from them. I feel that's too close to the grey area. Maybe sometimes way into the grey area and beyond. So what kind of like...
And then some.
And then some.
Yeah, carry on, bro.
Yeah.
And then further down.
And then, yeah, deeper. So what kind of memes are you thinking about? Like, would it be like just generic, like permissible, like it's not that bad?
Yeah, so I think like things that you see on Twitter culture,
Yeah.
but that are like super like safe.
So it's not like Islamic necessarily.
No, but it could be like, so for example, right?
Because I don't see a whole bunch of them.
Huh?
I don't see a whole bunch of them.
Oh, bro, that's why you need to be subscribed to the Cold Drip.
What the what?
So basically, bro, like, all right, imagine like, for example, the news comes out like that there was this. Although we're gonna stay like completely like we're not going near politics. Just because of the fact that like we don't, well, me personally, I don't even know politics, right? And so and for the Official Gun brand generally, like it's kind of like tries to be positive in that sense, right?
Yes.
But like for example, but then if something affects the Muslims, like it's important. And so there's like this news article that came out some time ago where like the UK has changed things where now it has the ability to strip someone of their citizenship for no reason or something. I don't know. Again,
Yeah.
like I don't that kind of thing, right? Like I'm sure on Twitter there's like loads of people reacting to it with some funny memes where it's super halal, and it's like not even the fact that it's halal. Like obviously as a given, like everything we do we try to be halal, but even the fact that like there'll be a reaction to that's worth posting.
Fine. Yeah, you're probably right. I just wonder
So
about.
I don't mean like a meme, like we've made a meme. It's more like a funny tweet that we're going to repost. So it's an embedded tweet.
Yeah. Have you seen Sean's? I forwarded it to you. Sean's 5 tweet Tuesday, something like that. Where he gets 5 tweets.
I saw your email. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you see the tweets?
I didn't read the tweets.
They're quite funny, yeah. But basically, he's just like funny, like not really around a theme. He just found it funny. That's the whole point of newsletter. He found it funny. He put it on newsletter. So I wonder, like, is it just being funny enough, or is it's got to like affect the Muslims in some way? Or
No, I think that I think there's not too much thinking that we need to do into it, because the people who follow Freshly Grounded and who are on the part of the community of Freshly Grounded, they have the same I think like understanding and banter as Freshly Grounded.
Yeah.
So it's like you just what did we enjoy that week or that day, and then we post it.
I guess so. Yeah. Look, so for example,
Just forget about it.
All right, fine.
No, I'm joking. It's basically
you've quelled my thoughts. You've quelled my queries.
Yeah, we'll go back and forth on it. Like when we.
I think it's fine. I think like I was just worried about this whole sort of like Islamic meme scene, which I don't like. So I just wanted to
we'll make sure that like we're happy with the newsletter. We put it out.
But I think we should step back. What is Cold Drip?
Yeah. So okay, fine. So Freshly Grounded for probably the longest time has had the potential to start a newsletter. Right, like we're really community driven, or we like to think that we're community driven, but actually we suck at being good at having a community vibe,
engaging with the
community. But we have a great community vibe in Freshly Grounded. The potential is there to like really build on the community, but I think like oftentimes maybe because of like lack of resources, as in like people and stuff like that. Like we've struggled. Like I think like having a community is like one of the core pieces of business. I think we even take for granted the fact that we have a great community, and so like then like I suppose like constantly doing a back and forth with the community on a micro level is something that can be very time consuming. I think we want to change that, and so for the longest time we've had the potential to do a newsletter and create that same vibe that we have in a podcast, but within a 5-minute newsletter. And obviously, there's no shying away from the fact that for a few years now, newsletters have been huge. Email newsletters are not going anywhere. And there's actually more and more softwares, SaaS products available to help like make things easier for us, so we don't need as much like manpower and stuff like that. So we're actually using one software called Beehive. Have you used Beehive before?
I haven't, no.
It's amazing. And I've actually got a discount code.
All right, send it.
No, a discount.
Referral code.
Referral code.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put the referral code in the link for Freshly Grounded. So we've got Freshly Grounded referral code. If you guys decide to sign up with Beehive, and you use Freshly Grounded as a referral code, Freshly Grounded will actually get 50% of the revenue that Beehive make from you for the first 12 months.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's sick. So at no extra cost to you, you'll be benefiting Freshly Grounded. So if you can use our referral code if you choose, but Beehive is amazing. How much I've used so far, I've loved it. Okay, so going back on it, we decided finally, you know what, we're going to double down on this. We're going to create a newsletter. If we're going to do it, let's do it properly. And I believe that the proper way to do a newsletter is to do it daily, which is like a 5-minute daily read at the beginning of your day, just to get yourself in the mood for the day. And it's going to consist of like a tweet that we've seen in the last 24 hours that we think is really like inspiring. So it could be about like increasing your iman. It could be about something about work or business or the startup culture, entrepreneurship, efficiency in like your character, physical health, mental health, character, physical health, or business like world or anything like that. And then there'll be like one like main article, and then there'll be some bullet pointed articles and a meme kind of thing at the bottom, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe like a Freshly Grounded announcement as well. So the idea is that every morning within your within 5 minutes or 3 minutes, you kind of get to catch up on what's going on in our world, or not in the Freshly Grounded world, just in like in the Muslim community kind of thing, on a really nice,
short, sweet, casual.
Yeah. But I feel like maybe you can expand on it a bit, because I've made it almost sound like it's going to be like, this charity raised this much money and now like they're doing this, which is like kind of like ilm feedy. It's not. Ilm feedy are doing a great job, by the way, but it's nothing like that. It's not Muslim news. That's not what it is. Maybe you can. So I'll pose a question to you as an interviewer.
Fine. So
Kaya, if it's not Muslim news, what on earth is the cold drip? And why is it called the cold drip?
Yeah, so second question first. Cold drip, Freshly Grounded, it's got the roots of the name in coffee. Cold drip is like cold drip coffee. If you go to a nice coffee shop, they'll have like a big cold dripper thing.
Oh, nice.
Where a cold coffee actually drips. So it's called cold drip. So that's the name. And we're going to drip you some,
some ice cold, some heat.
Ice cold, yeah. What was he saying? You're gonna need the ice cubes because we're coming in hot.
Yeah.
Coming in hot this time. So there's that. That's the name. What it is basically, and we're still figuring out the exact, wording and the exact, direction. But correct me if I'm wrong, it's going to be like things around, personal growth, growth in your character, growth in your finances, and the kind of stuff we've been touching on more and more in the last 2 or 3 weeks of Freshly Grounded, in inner circle and publicly, money management, that kind of stuff, improving your character. So it's basically what a Muslim would want to read about in a very short, easy to read, casual, in a Freshly Grounded banter way. That's basically what it's going to be.
Yeah. And I think it's going to be fun. It's going to be every single day. And if you want to subscribe, currently we haven't released it. As this episode comes out, as we're filming this, we haven't released it. I think we want to create an advert for it and stuff like that. And we want to do it properly because there's no one knows about it until now. Yeah. Because no one knows about it. There's no pressure time-wise. Like, I think we want to get it right.
Yes, I agree. And one thing I didn't mention is like, okay, what kind of news will there be? Yeah. We're going to focus on, again, like news that, not political, but it impacts Muslims, or it highlights the progress Muslims are making. So, for example, I know of a few brothers who are like launching startups around the world, right? And there's no real one place where all that news comes together for Muslims to see, oh, okay, we've got like practicing brothers who are doing interesting stuff with AI, interesting stuff over here with SaaS. They've brought this business over here in Sudan, whatever it may be. We want this to be a place where we're highlighting those achievements and inspiring people with that kind of narrative. Yeah,
I think we want an undertone of like the kind of startup culture, freelance culture, career growth, that kind of like positive kind of vibe. Like for example, a great article could have been, right? Like when I moved out over here, I realized how big LinkedIn is in the Middle East, as opposed to I think it is big obviously in the West, but I didn't realize the impact in the Middle East. Like you can literally build a career off of having a good LinkedIn profile. Yeah. And so a perfect example could literally be like how to like further your career with LinkedIn, and that's how that's the flagship article for today, and you'll be able to read the article hopefully within like 90 seconds,
Yeah.
and then look at the other bullet points and stuff as well. So the idea is, it's meant to be really positive and get you in the right mood for when you wake up, you're having your morning coffee, maybe you're having a cold drip, and you're reading the article,
Yeah.
reading the newsletter.
I'm excited, man. 'Cause
Yeah,
it,
same.
it really opens up a lot of new ways for us to just like engage with the community.
Yeah.
So a couple of episodes back, I was talking about an idea I had about SaaS where it's like, it aggregates everybody's comments about a newsletter, their reply to newsletter. And it aggregates it. It's like, you can see the comments from yesterday's newsletter, right?
Yeah.
We could because we've got a podcast as our foundation, we could do that sort of almost like live in the podcast. So it's like, today are we getting like email responses right now from our newsletter, and they're saying, they said this about this tweet, and they shared another tweet with us. Yeah, because we could ask, send in your favorite tweets, send in your favorite reminders. That could be like a really great way to engage with our newsletter audience through the podcast. There's a lot of like intermingling I feel can happen.
Yep.
It should happen, I think.
Yep.
Because it's all one thing. It's a freshly grounded company and a freshly grounded newsletter. So I'm excited, man. I'm even excited about like maybe even like potentially doing like exclusive content just for the newsletter. Where it's like, let's say for example, LinkedIn hacks, right? We could record like a 90-second clip of like 4 quick hacks to improve your LinkedIn if you're going to move to the Middle East. Done. And it's like,
bro, even stuff like that. Like I remember I got so many questions about moving to Dubai, like when and there's even more prominent question right now with like how the economy is going in the West and stuff. Great example of like some like things that you need to think about if you're doing a move and stuff like that.
yeah.
Another idea I was thinking, Kyle, separate to the newsletter, is do you know what, bro? It's about basically releasing content, right? Like the podcast that we do. So here's the conundrum. I'll place the conundrum first. So it makes sense. Conundrum is today we're shooting an episode of Freshly Grounded, which is this. Me and you, we're shooting this now. We're shooting an episode of Inner Circle after, which is going obviously specifically to Patreon, and then I'm shooting an episode with Sam later, inshallah, as well. So technically today we'll have 2 episodes of Freshly Grounded ready, right? Today's Thursday. Episodes come out on Friday. What the plan was initially was release the episode with Sam tomorrow, because obviously we haven't released an episode with Sam in a couple of weeks, and then release this episode next week, and then we basically have like one backup episode rolling. However, I just hate sitting on content, and I love the idea of releasing things as soon as I have them. And I don't know if it is, but it could even be the secret of Freshly Grounded's success so far. The reason I say that is like anytime I say to people like we generally release episodes and then we generally record episodes and release it like the next day, people are like, what, you don't have like 4 episodes like recorded in the background? I'm like, nah, like I don't know why I'm too impatient. Maybe that's been a secret to our success, bro. And so maybe I was thinking this time is we just release 2 episodes. Like we release this one today, and we release the other one.
When we first met and started discussing like FG, in my head I was like, we don't want to just like try to grow FG by just cranking out content. Like, but now I have a different idea. Now it's like, why not? I don't know why I had that idea in my head where it's like, 'cause it felt like a bit of a cop-out almost at that time back then, because we were thinking about the direction, and the cop-out would have been just do more. It's like, you know what I mean? 2 episodes better than 1 episode. And at that point, you felt like a cop-out to say that. Like, so I'm not even saying to do 2 episodes a week. I'm saying like, we have a Friday release every week, but we happen to have another episode. Let's just put it out. But what I'm saying is, this could become a regular thing where it's like, you have an episode of family every 2 weeks. Like, there's nothing really stopping us from doing ours every week as we would usually do. And then maybe you have a guest on a Sunday. Do you know what I mean? It's like, suddenly we've got 3 episodes. We just release them.
Do you think that people, and this would be good data to try and understand for people, is do you think people actually are like, it's Friday, there's going to be a Freshly Grounded release? Or do you think people are just constantly check like, there's another episode? Like, do you think that now there's a schedule is important still?
There's a mixture. I used to know that you'd come out on a Friday. Yeah, I used to know that. But to be honest, I get to a Tuesday, I wish there was another episode, because I could just like listen to that on the way to work or something like that. Yeah,
I'm thinking like we still do the Friday releases. Yeah. Some weeks we have another extra episode, we just throw it out. Other weeks we don't have an episode, we don't put it out. But the constant will be there's an episode every Friday.
Yeah.
Other than that, there might be some episodes before and after. There might not be.
And we've kind of already started doing that. That clip that you put, the 5-minute clip. It's not an episode, but it was kind of the same concept, and if anything, that clip did as good as the full episode. Well,
the problem it leaves though is that like, okay, then we're gonna have to get another episode next week. But I suppose we can. Like, let's think about next week.
It's not pressured. It's not like, we must now. We're not saying we're going from 1 to 2 and we've got to do that. It's just like, if it so happens to be that way, Slash maybe we'll just open the door up to do more content here and there. Then I think, yeah, why not, man? Like I said, I think like 6 months ago, it felt like the wrong answer because like the content was in a different place. So we had to sort that out first. Now the content is closer to where we think it should be. So now the question is, well, is more content a cop-out? It doesn't feel that way anymore.
Will it get buried though? Like we release an episode today and we release an episode tomorrow.
I don't think
Will
so.
today's
man.
episode get buried?
I think that whole buried thing is gone, to be honest, from social media. Don't you think? Like, it just gets suggested again. Like,
Yeah, generally speaking, but because people aren't used to seeing 2 episodes for once in a week, they'll just check on Friday. They'll see the one with me and Sam, and then they'll be like, "Oh, that's this week's episode." They won't even think to check. Oh, is there?
But eventually they'll log back into YouTube late that day, next 2 days, and it'll be their top suggested one that they haven't watched because YouTube just knows that they watch FG. I'm fairly confident of that.
Yeah, but it will be like, okay, because they were like, I watched episode 293, which was the Sam, and then they're being advertised 292. They're like, oh, I must have watched that then. Because like the thumbnails all are like me and you, me and Sam. Like, you're not going to memorize the thumbnails, right?
But you can see when YouTube shows you that you've watched it or not.
Yeah, that's true.
You know
That's
what I mean?
true.
You can see that, oh, they'll see it, and they'll see the title. Oh, I haven't watched that one.
Let's try it. Let's put this one out. If we have time today, we do it today.
Just do it, man. Yeah.
Fine. Stop
talking and do it, Faisal.
Yeah, exactly.
That'd be good, wouldn't it?
There's something else which was I can't remember. What was it? Oh, fine. I can't remember. So let's go back to the doc. So do you have something on the doc, or should I?
I mean, can I even find the doc? You get the doc up because I'm in 2 different thingamajigs now.
You could just switch accounts.
Yeah, I know, but I'm still like getting used to that, and I can't remember where you shared it.
Docs.
Oh yeah, okay.
I've got it.
That'd be good, wouldn't it? Go to docs.
Yeah.
That's what the docs are.
I've got it.
But the thing is, my drive is like weird.
It's the Enet doc.
Okay, I got it now.
Right. Okay, so you had a point which it was business tools. I think the business tools you recommend are tools that I think that's another episode.
Yeah.
That we could do a whole episode that. We'll do that next week. So
we didn't really talk about the whole living below your wealth enough, to be honest. I don't think. Like you mentioned the whole living below your wealth, like living below your wealth, living below your means. Like what we kind of touched on that before, but
I do want to talk about that Starbucks thing.
Oh yeah, you're going. Yeah.
I was quite excited about that.
Go on.
I just found it on the doc. So let me find the actual tweet that I sent to Omar. Oh, that's going to take me ages because we text quite a lot. Oh, you can actually just check tweet. There you go. Okay. Which one was it? Probably this one. There's a saying in tech. I think this is the one. Yeah. Okay. Right. So I have to give a
disclaimer.
The disclaimer is that I don't condone this specific business model because it's essentially going to be impermissible because I think that it deals with interest. So that's one disclaimer. The second disclaimer is that you have to be conscious of also praising things that are not permissible. And so I'm definitely not praising the interest part of it. I think what I'm praising is the fact that you can have one business that clearly looks like it's a business model, but in the background you've got something that's making you bank.
Yeah.
And it's not even known. Like it's so well done. Like, for example, McDonald's being seen as a restaurant, but actually they're a property company. That kind of thing. That's what like the idea.
The business creativity rather than the specific thing they've done. Yeah.
So that's the disclaimer, right? So the tweet basically talks about, and I can share it. I'll put this tweet in the
Enet doc.
No, I'll put it in the description of the YouTube video as well.
Oh,
right?
fine.
If I forget, people maybe just comment and let me know. Cool. It says, let me tell you why Starbucks is one of the most successful banks in the US. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, act like, first of all, Kaya, you got to act like you have no idea what's going on.
Bank?
Yeah, exactly.
What?
Exactly. You have to act like we haven't spoken about this.
Go on then.
Yeah. You're intrigued, I know.
Yeah.
So, it all started with the gift card.
Yeah.
It says, Starbucks set out with a simple mission, build a loyalty program to incentivize customers to buy more coffee. In 2008, their loyalty program was first introduced and paired with the physical gift cards. By the way, this tweet is by Alex H. So at Alex H_Johnson. I should probably say that before I get done for plagiarism. For those who don't remember, here's how it worked. You buy a gift card for yourself and load it with any amount of money. You then purchase your daily coffee using that gift card and you reload it where necessary. I suppose the advantage of that is that they give you some kind of reward for you paying with your gift card, right?
I think, yeah, go on.
Eventually, you accrue enough points to redeem rewards. Okay, there you go, like free refills or free Wi-Fi. So that's the incentive. If I pay with my Starbucks card instead of my cash, even though the coffee's the same amount, I actually get like free things from using the Starbucks card. Starbucks was attempting to change the way their cards were used from a gift card to something that resembling almost like a debit card. Then, everything changed with the release of the Starbucks mobile app in 2010. Now, customers could upload digital gift cards to the app and load and reload the card on the app. Their loyalty program became the Starbucks reward program. Adoption of the mobile app exploded. With rewards program, each purchase would offer you 1 star for every $1 spent, but each purchase you made with the reloadable gift card earned you 2 stars with every $1 you spent. These stars can be redeemed for free customizations, stuff in the bakery and stuff like that. Once they added mobile ordering and pickup in 2014, about 25% of all Starbucks orders in the US were paid for on mobile. That's mad.
That is mad.
That is mad.
Yeah.
Because you'd think like 2%, bro.
Nah, you mean...
No, bro. If you would ask me to just say spitball a number, I'd say 2%.
I'd say you're crazy then. I would put a little bit higher than that.
Bro, but
that is still...
I'm going to buy a Starbucks, I just pay with my card, pay my money. I'm not going to be like, oh, let me open my Starbucks
But they're including Apple Pay now, right?
Oh, okay. If this ain't Apple Pay,
I think.
Yeah, fine. All orders mobile. Okay,
Yeah.
fine. Here's the magic of the Starbucks rewards program. Each time you load a reward card, Starbucks... Okay, here's the bit, right? Here's like the interesting bit about the money. Each time you load your rewards card, Starbucks holds onto that money until you're ready to spend it. Multiply this by 25 million active reward members, and you have a company that reported 1.6 billion in deposits last year. So people deposited $1.6 billion on the card, yeah?
That's basically, so to translate that, that's basically a $1.6 billion free, quote unquote, free loan to Starbucks.
Yeah.
Because the money sits in their interest-bearing account.
Yeah.
And makes them obviously totally haram. We don't endorse that. But from their perspective, you know, they're making a lot of money.
Yeah. And they're just rewarding their customers with like a free bakery item once every 5 months.
Yeah. Evil, in my opinion. Evil.
Yeah.
But on the other hand,
it's more anything that doesn't follow Islamic morals.
I think it's evil. But we're just highlighting the creativity.
It's very clever.
Yeah.
You could be clever and evil, right?
Yeah. We spoke about it in the Dark Triad episode, didn't we?
Yeah. Every year, reward members load about $10 billion onto their Starbucks cards.
Wow.
So what do Starbucks do with all that extra cash lying around? Think of it as a zero interest line of credit. Need cash to build a few dozen new locations? Starbucks has the money, right? No need to borrow from a bank at 2 to 4% interest. Just dip into your cash reserves and replenish it later. So they just basically work like a bank. When you load money into a bank, we were talking about this yesterday, weren't we? Like the bank called you up to ask you. So it works like a bank. You got money in the bank. If everybody withdrew all their money from a bank, the money wouldn't be there because the bank are using it to invest in things like property and companies and like other like haram things. So just like that, if you borrow, if you all try to like use all of your Starbucks cards with all your money at the same time, Starbucks probably wouldn't have the money for it, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
If it was 10 billion. I mean, they probably have 10 billion.
They
right?
probably do,
yeah.
But the point is like, because it's also their coffee, they're also in charge of, let's say for example, is 10 billion, yeah? Let's say it dropped down to 5 billion and then people redeem 6 billion worth of coffee. It's also, they're paying themselves, so it's like, oh, we can take that here anyway.
Yeah,
even if we spend that money and we've only got 5, so there's $1 billion missing.
Yeah, it's such a safe thing for them.
We'll just give away $1 billion worth of coffee for now because we know we're gonna get it back. We'll just give it away, worst case scenario, because you're not paying anyone else. There's no third party. So yeah,
that's so safe.
It's quite tight.
The reason Starbucks can do this is that it doesn't have to keep an adequate reserve on hand to facilitate redemptions. The only way to cash out Starbucks balances is to buy something from Starbucks. So that money could... Yeah, exactly what you said.
Yeah, so it's like a loop.
Clever.
It is very clever, very genius. It's genius and evil.
Since money loaded onto the app / physical gift cards never expires, a significant amount of the money is never spent. Starbucks is even able to use historical data to quantify breakage, how much money will never be redeemed. How much? $141 million of free money in 2019 alone.
So this is crazy.
Bro, this is mad.
Let's break it down. I just want to break it down from like a moral perspective as well.
No, but this is mad.
Yeah, this is good. most people shop at Starbucks, buy their coffee from Starbucks. I mean, obviously, it's a wide range of people, but it's mostly middle class and lower class people who are going to get their coffee from Starbucks. Yeah, they're not going to like the more expensive independent coffee place. So when you
Did you
think
say middle class, lower class? Surely not. It's upper class, no, or middle class, upper class.
Starbucks.
Bro, you're paying for a coffee out. Like that's a luxury.
No. What I'm saying, yeah, you're right, but it's a kind of luxury that most people, even those like near the poverty line, would still treat themselves to, right? Especially in like the West, I think.
Fine. Okay.
Yeah, would you not agree?
Yeah, I guess.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like
mum with her 2 kids, and they've gone to Lidl. I would stop by Starbucks and get a baby. You know what I mean?
you're gonna get trouble for that.
Yeah. Why? Hope not.
Everybody who's a mum with 2 kids and goes to Lidl is
lower
poverty
class.
line.
Yeah, no. But you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's not what Kaya is saying.
No, you don't go into Starbucks and oh, there's businessmen everywhere. It's like a business thing. It's like a fairly like diverse and it's a quote unquote cheap place to get coffee, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like if you go somewhere else as independent, it costs you more. Yeah. That's what I mean. So when you think about it from that perspective, Starbucks have sat down and said, all right, cool. We're gonna actually extract 10 billion a year from like middle and lower class people, keep it for ourselves and just generate interest from it.
Yeah.
And the only way they can get it back is to buy it from us. That is quite evil.
And on top of that, they're buying, they're investing in themselves. They're buying new locations and stuff like that.
But it's literally like they're literally taking a loan, a free, interest-free loan from their customers, giving them, quite frankly, very little reward for it. If you buy 5 Starbucks, you'll get a 6th one free. Oh, thanks a lot. And they've got 10 billion in their bank or a year.
No, is that what's immoral about it? Because I don't know. Like we'd have to speak to like someone like an Islamic scholar
because they're using it to generate interest for themselves.
Yeah, that bit. That's obviously. Yeah, if they get generate interest, but I'm saying, is it immoral to look? I'm not forcing you to come to Starbucks. If you come to Starbucks and you're loading your car, that's on you. It's your money. You want to pay on Starbucks. So. I'm using your money, but so I don't. We have to look into like the permissibility from an Islamic perspective, which we don't know.
Yeah,
but. I think, for sure, like what we do know is that interest is not allowed, and so therefore the interest element definitely.
But my main concern is they're taking that money from people to make interest from it.
But I wonder if there is a halal way of like having a business.
Let's say, for example, they didn't do the interest part. How do you feel about that? So let's say, for example, what would a different model be?
Well, I'd have to check if it was if for example, like a sheikh said that, like a reputable person who said yes, like this is fine. Then like I guess if you're loading your Starbucks card now, okay, I'm Starbucks, I've got 10 billion in this card, I'm using that money to buy a new location, and then as long as I can guarantee that money is maybe not, because you're not even asking those people if you can borrow the money. Technically, they can't then withdraw. No,
that's another thing is like you can't withdraw it. Yeah, so let's say, for example,
I don't know. It's clever though.
It is clever.
Yeah.
I'd probably feel a bit uncomfortable with like, oh, again, this single mum of 2 kids, she's come in. Oh, she put like £10 on her card, on my Starbucks card, and like next day she comes in and she realizes, oh, she needs that money. Oh, sorry, can't.
No, but that's her choice to upload the money.
Yeah, no, it is,
because we're not saying
the fact it's irreversible is a bit dodge. Bro, we're just selling the coffee, man. Just give her £10 back. Do you know what I mean? For me, it's a little bit dodgy.
No, I disagree with you on that.
You reckon?
Because she's coming in and she's loading her, or he's coming in and loading his.
It's just a cappuccino, mate.
Let's say he's loading his Starbucks card. That's on him. If he wants to load it because he wants to get the benefits of Lloyd, but he
can't reverse it, and he hasn't redeemed it either. It's just sitting there in my bank account now.
Yeah, but that's like.
By the way,
do you know what that's like? That's like someone coming to Fresh Garden and paying for Patreon for the year. They paid for Patreon for the year, and they can't reverse that.
Interesting.
So, what's wrong with that? They chose to do that.
Fair enough.
You're just loading your Starbucks card. Like I load it's like loading your TransferWise card or your
the difference in my
Monzo card.
The difference in my head is with paying for a Patreon up front. You're getting a discount up front as well. You get like 10-20% discount. And
you said you were Starbucks, you're getting a free latte or whatever.
Well, yeah, but you get immediate access to that content. Like the content is there. With Starbucks, like, all right, put the money there. All right, I'll come back tomorrow to get that. But what if I need it now?
Fine.
With Patreon, it's like, no, as soon as you pay, you've got access.
Yeah.
So there's no delay in like getting your stuff.
But there is delay because you're paying for the year, but you don't get the whole year's.
That's true. That's true. I'm not saying it's Islamically impermissible, but I don't know. I'm just saying like, is it a bit dodge? Like,
yeah, definitely. It's definitely dodge. But okay, fine. Another.
But then again, what you just said is making me think actually it's not dodge.
Well, another thing you could look at is like, for example, the McDonald's famous McDonald's thing, which is like they buy properties and. It's like a restaurant, really.
That's genius.
I suppose what the underlying factor is can you make businesses, and I think this is the right way to do business, can you make businesses where you can leverage off of other parts of your business that the consumer or like your initial customer, it doesn't affect their experience with you at all, and so you're able to basically create two businesses within one. So another example could be like Freshly Grounded. We have our editors, and when our editors have downtime, like maybe there's parts of the week where they're not doing as much editing, we use our editing team to edit other people's work. We charge for that. So it's like people, for all intents and purposes, Freshly Grounded is just a podcast. But if you look into Freshly Grounded, they actually like an agency that edits people's videos. You know what I mean? Example.
How else, just as like an exercise now, how else, like think about the Starbucks thing, the McDonald's thing, how else could we do that for FG? There's like, okay, from the outside looking in, it's a content
and it doesn't affect people's experience.
It doesn't affect people. It's just like it's added extra for us. I'm thinking like, remember I had that idea of like eventually, inshallah, us having like a large space where it's like a co-working space, a place where people, the community come together.
Yeah.
That I feel like could be leveraged in different ways.
That'd be
like,
cool, yeah.
Because we could have like our own, we could probably launch an FG actual coffee shop in there, and that could be like a whole new thing. And a lot of people just think, oh, it's just a coffee shop in the co-working space, but actually that's like a major driver of money, or like, you know, that kind of stuff. Yeah,
I think there are definitely ways. Like, you know, for example, the coffee shop up the road that me and you really like, they're also a roastery.
Yes.
And what's interesting is that they're making their own coffee, selling their coffee beans, and then they have a coffee shop with their own coffee. Like that's quite genius as well, as opposed to like outsourcing or like trying to like import coffee and stuff like that.
And again, like we looked at that, right? And we spoke to the guy in there, and we said, oh, how many coffees do you sell a day? We tried to work out like how are they doing? And based on what he said, like, sounds like they're struggling. But their roastery may be like 90% of their business. Yeah. Because if they're roasting coffee and selling it to other distributors or even exporting it, they're probably killing it. Yeah. So we just looked at one maybe small slice of their business and thought, oh, it's not doing that well. But the roastery, if anything, is probably making them far more money.
Yeah. And you're a customer of the roastery.
I am. But I'm probably not a big... I'm talking like... Because, you know, I visited another roastery.
Oh, they probably have like coffee shops who they're giving like batches of coffee to.
Yeah, I'm sure they have. I'm sure they have. Either in UAE or elsewhere. Yeah, and that's where the money is, man. Like, doing it in bulk, basically. B2B.
And again, I think another way of doing it is like, if you have a business and you're providing something to that business, how much of that industry or that world can you monopolize? So you see it here a lot. Like, let's say, for example, you have a company who does AC renovations. A lot of the companies that do AC renovations also do like plumbing. It just makes sense because basically, if one company can end up taking over the whole house renovation business, then why not? Yeah. So I think it's like that's an element of it as well. Like, you can be an AC company, but like, oh, by the way, like, seeing as you need your AC cleaned out, do you also need like your water tank and stuff cleaned out?
Well, how would you relate that to FG? Like, or wouldn't you? You're just saying that as an interesting thing.
Yeah.
Because my perspective on that is that's good for like, when it's someone who could do an AC and a water tank cleaning and plumbing, it makes sense in my mind. Like, they're adjacent to each other. So it makes sense. But I wouldn't want someone who can do my AC and also like, I don't know, cut my hair, right? Two different things. It's got to be like fairly linear in that sense, isn't it?
I think the good thing about Freshly Grounded is that like the community aspect is like is based on a demographic of like a personality, and ultimately like the main thing that ties all together is faith. Yes. Majority of people are living in the West. Majority of people are like young adults, and so them like kind of like trades. You can look at that person and say, okay, like how else can we benefit that community? How can we service that community? And so the newsletter is a perfect example where it's like we can give information in a different manner that's like quick and it's something that's like trendy. But trying to adapt like the problems that you're solving.
I think it all revolves around the community, isn't it?
It does.
Like, these are just different ways that engage with
I think you have to be selfless with the community as well. You can't think about yourself first. That's what I think Kareem always draws on, isn't it? Kareem literally always says, how can we provide value to the community? How can we provide value to the community? How can we provide value to the community? And then, so anyone who's listening to this might have seen an email that I sent out last night. And so I sent this email out to our whole email list, thousands of people, Freshly Grounded listeners, or people who have like interacted with or like with Freshly Grounded, subscribed to Freshly Grounded and stuff like that. sent out an email, and it literally said, you guys probably have listened to me way more than I have listened to you. I want to be better at listening. I'm going to read every email or something like that.
Yeah.
And that was actually Kareem's idea, because when we have these meetings where we're like, look, how can we adapt Freshly Grounded to still provide something beneficial to the world, right? Like something we're proud of. And because what we were talking about is when Freshly Grounded first started, it was hopefully a solution to a problem that existed, which was we didn't see that many relatable Muslims, especially online, especially that were like, I suppose, like not trying to seek controversy or anything like that, just like super like, hey, like let's have a chat about our day to day, and it seemed to work. That problem doesn't exist anymore because, alhamdulillah, by the grace of Allah, there's so much content that exists for people that they can relate to. So now, like, and it's good, bro, because people can relate. People have different interests, right? But with that being said, so we were having this meeting and we were saying like, how can we make sure like we're constantly adapting and stuff like that. And Kareem said, well, we're looking at it wrong. We need to look at how can we serve the community and how can we provide value to the community. Yeah. And to be able to provide value from the community to the community, instead of making assumptions about the community, listen to the community. And so he was like, I think you should send a super simple email that's like no graphics, nothing, just and have your inbox open for replies and just say, I'm listening. Yeah. And I sent it last night, so I've got like so many emails to go through. So I opened like one or two when they came in. I think the thing that I was surprised about the most, out of the few that I read already, there was a consistent theme of, hey, I'm a mum, and like I've got some young kids and I enjoy listening to Freshly Grounded when XYZ, which is interesting because we always, I suppose, have seen Freshly Grounded as, the idea of Freshly Grounded as being, quote unquote, people like me. Yeah. And I'm not a mum, obviously.
What?
Yeah, sorry, bro.
Stop this whole thing right now.
But that seemed like a consistent theme. Yeah. So it's like, that's something worth delving into. Well, like, how can we like be better at providing value to those people? So yeah, it's interesting.
It is interesting, man. And without overstepping the mark in terms of like what we want to like divulge, this whole concept of like engaging with the community, like FG has been fantastic at like being relatable, and therefore people have felt part of it without really engaging much. Like they haven't spoken with you personally or Sam personally, many of them, but they feel that community. I feel like the next step for FG, which we've spoken about in different ways, is like, again, this email, getting people to actually interact with us and tell us their thoughts and feelings. I think we want to go a step further with that at some point, where it's like an actual community, live community of like a forum, again, like segregated forum or Discord or something like that, where people can share their ideas, share their stories with us. Again, we want to highlight these interesting stories of people doing interesting things in the Muslim Ummah. That'd be a great place for them to share it and talk about that and do it in a permissible way, inshallah. And again, that feeds a podcast feeds to that, and it all becomes like more of a conversation with people rather than just us talking to them. Yeah, you know, they could talk back to us and give us suggestions and that kind of thing. So yeah, I feel like leaning more into the community of FG is going to be super important for its growth, man.
Yeah, agreed.
One more thing I wanted to say, yeah, because just a funny tweet that I saw, yeah, the way you said, literally thousands of people responded. I was like, literally thousands of people on the list, yeah. I saw a picture yesterday on Twitter. And it was the Queen's coffin being driven into the palace, something like that. Yeah. And BBC tried to say like, thousands of people lined up to watch it, but you could see in the background like the barricade empty, like no one was there.
No, bro, there was.
Oh, was there?
Bro, it was like 3 miles.
Oh, fine.
It was mad.
But it was just funny because
the picture, yeah, makes sense.
This picture made it look like no one there, yeah. So I think there was memes coming
funny stuff like that all the time.
Yeah. So someone responded. They said, literally tens of people have descended on London to see. I love that kind of stuff, man. Yeah, it reminded me of that. So that was funny. And also another thing about Kareem, yeah. May Allah bless him. He's got such a unique ability, bro, to like, when people come together to discuss something, usually everyone's got like an idea in their head that they're trying to push forward and that kind of thing, right? He's got this unique ability, mashallah, where he may have an opinion on it, but he's more interested at firstly getting the best out of your opinions. Yeah. and like asking a question where it's like he'll discover more about, or it'll make you think of it in a different way, and then maybe he'll give an opinion after that. But I feel like it's such a unique personality trait that he has.
He's like 1 in a trillion, bro. All right, that's the 1 hour mark. Let's jump over to the inner circle. So, guys, thank you so much for listening to this week's episode of the podcast. If you want to carry on the conversation, you can head over to freshlygrounded.com/inner circle. If that's not working, you can go to patreon.com/freshlygrounded. I see, basically, like, I had a call with an engineer who's like CTO of a like serious company, yeah. And then basically, bro, yeah, it seems like, and this guy's like an advanced CTO, and he's like, bro, like, I've not seen this problem before, where basically it seems like only me is getting this SSL issue. Did you get the issue?
I didn't get it, no.
Yeah, no one else seems to have this issue. So for everyone else, they seem to be able to go to freshlyground.com just perfectly fine. Me, I have this issue where I can't access it, even though, and I've deleted all my cookies, like cache.
Didn't you say Omar had the same issue? Like,
no, he can access it fine, I think.
Fine.
If anybody has an issue accessing freshlyground.com, do let me know, because everyone else seems to be able to access it fine, like apart from me.
That's weird.
Yeah, I'm getting an SSL issue, but like there's no SSL issue. Anyway, yeah. All right, guys, that was this week's episode of Fresh Grounded. We'll see you in Inner Circle or next week. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.